As someone who grew up playing competitive sports, I've always had the greatest respect for athletes. Watching the Olympics every 4 years is honestly like a getaway for me because the games remind me of the most beautiful things in this life. Get out of your comfort zone and push yourself to the absolute limits. Give it everything you got, even when the odds are against you. And respect the rules of the games and your opponents and accept defeat even when it is hard to do so. At a time when COVID, conflicts, and the bad news dominate our headlines, these athletes at these Beijing Winter Olympics showcased the best humanity has to offer. They reminded us of why sport. Faster, higher, stronger. To these Olympians, they're not just lofty words, but they mean decades of training, repetitive motion, techniques polished to an impossible ideal, and of course, raw talent too. As an international affairs correspondent, it touches me every single time to see sportsmanship, honor, and solidarity displayed by these Olympians because they couldn't be more different from the brinksmanship, dishonesty, and antagonism seen in geopolitics. Yes, sport can never be totally free of politics. You cannot avoid that. But sport should not be defined by politics. Sport should never let politics get the better of itself. If anything, sport should shape politics and inspire governments and politicians to pursue the same spirit of fair play and decency. For example, China and Japan might not be the closest friends geopolitically, but on Chinese internet, one of the most sought-after Olympians this time around is Japanese figure skater Yuzuru Hanyu. Millions of Chinese are enchanted by his fitness, elegance, and sweet demeanor, and the feeling seems neutral. And despite America's diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Winter Olympics, many American athletes, such as skater Tessa Maud, shared with her fans how China made her truly feel.
In that moment, that was the craziest moment of my life. Genuinely, like the craziest moment. So, and that guy who said, "Welcome to China," literally just like makes me tear up every time because they're so nice. Like all the volunteers are so sweet and so kind, and they're just like so happy that we're here. We feel so welcomed, and I don't know. It was just insane.
And let's not forget the one and only Eileen Gu, who herself is a marriage of China and the United States. Unfortunately, in the past few days, the U.S. media, especially those on the right, politicized her identity and criticized her choice to represent China. Listen to this gentleman on Fox News.
It is incredibly, I think the only word we can arrive at is ungrateful for her to turn her back on the country that not just raised her, but turned her into a world-class skier.
And here's Eileen Gu's response.
So I know that I have a good heart, and I know that my reasons for making the decisions I do are based on a greater common interest and something that I feel like is for the greater good. And so if other people don't really believe that that's where I'm coming from, then that just reflects that they do not have the empathy to empathize with a good heart, perhaps because they don't share the same kind of morals that I do. So yeah, if people don't believe me and if people don't like me, then that's their loss. They're never going to win the Olympics. So.
And if you read Eileen Gu's decision in 2019 to represent China, she said this: "The opportunity to help inspire millions of young people where my mom was from during the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to help promote the sport I love. If I can help to inspire one young girl to break one boundary, my wishes will have come true." Well, ever since Eileen Gu's Olympic victory, some ski resorts in and around Beijing have said there's a dramatic jump in new membership signups, mostly young girls aspiring to learn skiing. And it's not hard to imagine conversations among the next generation of skiers in China many years from now. It could be like, how did you get started in this sport? Well, I watched Eileen Gu at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, and I just wanted to be like her and go to the Olympics too. And that would be the best thing about these games, its ability to inspire young people to take up sports and enjoy the endless fun sports can bring them.